I'm Ron Reeder, and this is Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. And today's topic is big government versus small government. I started blogging 18 years ago, back in 2002, and one of the many reasons why is because it seemed to me at the time that mainstream liberals on television were doing an awful job of explaining liberal ideas. It was like they were barely even trying. Get my voice out there, make better arguments. So I'm just plugging away for some years at that. And after a while, I realized something, especially after I took the whole blogging show over to Facebook. And what I realized is that not only was I just getting arguments out there, but I was also teaching or modeling what I believe to be effective liberal arguments to my liberal friends for them to use in their own discussions, because, we're all in this together, right? So why don't you let me be your arms dealer? I got a lot of ordnance I can get you free of charge. I've even got those special tipped bullets that pierce armor and lots of other illegal shit. I'll set you up. So, allow me to then offer this arm, this weapon for use in political debate. And here's the argument. The rhetorical American political dynamic of big government versus small government is total bullshit. 1. Big government versus small government is a political frame. There is a linguistics professor out of Berkeley, a guy named George Lakoff, that I've done some reading, some of his stuff, and he has written extensively about political framing and how conservatives are way better at this than liberals. My understanding of the notion of political framing is that it's how you conceptually define a given topic and how you sort of contextualize it, among everything else. So a political frame isn't really about point-to-point debate in itself. It's a lot more like owning the arena, writing the rules, and paying off the refs. Really, what it's like is being that team that always loses to the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I'm saying? So if you concede the meme, you concede the debate. Mainstream liberals have been conceding the big government frame for decades. It's been pathetic to watch, always sort of acknowledging and embracing the frame, always shooting themselves in the foot. It's a lot like this. Well, I really understand how we need to rein in government. Yes, we need to do that. But couldn't we just, help some poor people too? Couldn't we just do that? God. Ugh. In this big government frame, government that is not defense is a waste. All legislative proposals to do anything but cut government or increase defense is automatically suspect. Big government is foolish, small government is common sense, and oh yeah, none of these rules apply to conservatives, because they came up with the idea of big government, small government, and that makes them responsible people, and responsible people know the exceptions, which you don't. The big government, small government frame is a rigged game. What's a poor liberal to do about this? 2. Big government, small government as an idea is total bullshit. Get this. We live in a big country. We got a big population. We got a big economy. We live in big cities. We got big businesses, big problems, big responsibilities. It is a big world with other big countries that have big economies and big problems and big responsibilities. In the 21st century, everything is big. So it's not that we need big government, which, of course we do, but rather it's that there will be big government. And that is that. I mean, if everything was smaller, if everything we had smaller countries, then it's very likely that we would have smaller government, as in centuries past when the world was effectively a smaller place. So, the deal on big government is that it simply reflects our big reality, So making government smaller is an absurdity. It won't happen. Ever. Can't happen. It's stupid even to consider it. Big government is eternally wed to big reality. Thus, small government conservatives are all revealed as frauds. And mainstream liberals, by playing their game, are enablers. I say it's time to stop this madness. 3. The role of government and spending. Now, okay, if you want to talk about streamlining bureaucracy, eliminating redundancy, combating corruption and fraud and waste, all that, okay, that's a good conversation. Let's have that conversation. But that's not a conversation about big government and small government. That's a conversation about efficiency and bang for your buck. Big government, small government is a very different conversation. So then, this frame is basically, it's a conversation aimed only at devaluing liberal policy ideas, not conservative policy ideas, of course, because conservatives don't have to follow their own rules. Big government, small government is then a clever way of sidestepping the actual conversation about spending in the role of government. So instead of having that conversation, they offer this rigged, fake discussion about big government and small government, totally distorting reality in their favor. No doubt conservatives don't feel particularly comfortable with the actual discussion. And for years, I have watched mainstream Charlie Brown liberals try to kick this football. This time, it's going to be different. No, it won't, Chuck. Lucy is a Republican. So, just looking back, all these years, big government, small government, you got to wonder, did we really see what we've seen? Can mainstream liberals really have been so stupid as to have fallen for this again and again? Well, yeah, they have. They're just total freaking suckers playing this stupid game. As old Charlie Brown would say, ARG! In conclusion, big government, small government is a frame, which is a conceptual understanding of a given topic, and it is a bullshit frame because big countries necessarily will have big government. They use this, the conservatives do, mercilessly in order to avoid honest discussion about government and spending. It really does feel like they would lose an honest debate like that. So what do we do with all this? You reject the frame the moment it rears its ugly head. It's absurd. It's impossible. Make no concession on this. Size of government will not be considered at all. offer to discuss spending and government instead, but keep reiterating that big government, small government is fucking stupid. Now, of course, this might very well end the discussion, but that's okay because it would have been a rigged joke discussion on their terms anyway. This way, at least, it puts the joke on the conservative because, trust me, he will not see this coming. And your insistence on having an honest conversation will very likely result in biblical gnashing of teeth. That's funny. Conservatives gnashing their teeth because you're not cooperating with their fucking shit. You know, and who knows? Maybe your conservative friend, upon being challenged, will accept. And y'all can have a real conversation. Because, you know, I still have not given up on conservatives yet. I mean, they're human beings, just like people on the left are. They've got the same freaking genes as we do. It's the same species. I'm not giving up on them. I see fissures and cracks in their entire philosophical structure. And I think that if we can just find the key jabs, it will make that entire shithouse just fall in on itself. And maybe, once all the dust has cleared, some conservatives will get up, wipe off the dust, and start talking sense. Stranger things have happened. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me again next week, Ron Reeder, for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe.